Right folks, welcome to today's video. This is the Bingley Wheeler and myself, VFR Mitch. Today we are going to be taking part in the Royal Enfield One Ride Out. We're just on his way over. Just lined his bikes up for a quick photo opportunity at Baton's Reservoir. Both the bikes are fairly new to ourselves. Bingley Wheeler has had his probably about 5 or 6 weeks now. What do you reckon to the bike, mate?
Well, best decision ever made, I have to say. And I know we've both traded down, so to speak, from larger motorcycles, 1000cc plus Taurus, adventure bikes, things of that nature. And I think we've both probably come to the same conclusion, and that is in terms of smiles per mile and bang for your bucks, that these Royal Enfields just about tick every box, don't they? And I have to say, your Baker Express colour scheme, which I didn't like at first, when I sort of looked at pictures online and what have you, in the flesh is absolutely superb. Just goes to show you can't make all your judgments based upon what you see online, isn't it? So it looks really well. I still think the chrome's better though, of course.
Mate, I was looking, but I thought a pair of us going down on chrome ones might be a bit too much, bit too blingy. But no, I'm glad I went for that one. I like the rather than having the badge on the tank, I like the bit of sign writing on the tank.
And I think in terms of extras, I think you had some fitted at Robbie's, the dealerships, didn't you? So your bars, your engine bars, and your fly screen.
Fly screen and the sump guard bash plate. Yeah, all fitted by the dealer, which have been top notch so far. Bike's just been in for its 300-mile service, and they've been a pleasure to deal with. Been brilliant. Yeah,
they have. I mean, I got this bike from Wigan Motorcycles, still part of the same group, MotoGB group, but I've recently dealt with Robbie's with a couple of other Royal Enfields that I've got, and they've been absolutely superb. Can highly recommend them. Very, very good customer service. Again, part of the MotoGB group. So accessories you fitted yourself there, pal. Tail pack, haven't you got that tail pack on?
Fitted myself. I've done the tech levers, because the original ones, while they do the job, I think they look a bit cheap. I've put the finishing caps, Royal Enfield finishing caps on. I've upgraded the headlight bulb, but still not the best. Grip puppies. What else have I done to it? Oh, I've changed the throttle cables because I've got bar risers on, and that meant when the steering lock was on full left, basically the throttle cables were pulling tight and rubbing against the tank, or starting to rub against the tank. Yeah. Oh, and the Motone knee pads on the tank, Union Jack pads.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've not put bar raisers on because I'm not quite as tall as you. It seems to work for me, does this configuration, so I'll not be going down that route. Only accessories I've put on is an upgraded Enfield Precision oil cooler cover. I put the Hitchcock's engine bars on, which are identical to yours, but they're just not badged Royal Enfield, but they do the same job. We've both had the custom touring seat fitted, haven't we? So the OEM seats on these are very uncomfortable, I have to say, after quite a few miles. But these seats, which you can only get by ordering from a certain person in India, can we name him?
I wouldn't at the moment. If people want, they can send us a message and we might be able to tell them.
So they've got to come from India, but they are very reasonably priced. We're talking 130 quid a piece and nothing else to pay on top of that, and they make a massive difference. They make the bike slightly higher from a riding point of view. They've got a firmer gel upholstery, and over distance they're an awful lot better. So that's probably the best upgrade, actually, as you can see on both bikes, is the touring seat. And I've just also put on Lextech exhaust system. There's 5 or 6 different aftermarket exhausts that are suitable for this bike. I've gone for Lextech because I've had them on previous bikes and they sound absolutely fantastic and they're not expensive. And I think that's about it. I think we've both put Optimate charger leads on, haven't we? That's about it, isn't it, really? If I think about what else while we're on the road, we can chat about it, can't we?
We can, mate. With regard to the exhaust, pal, what's the weight saving on those? Have you any idea?
I have to tell you, when you take those OEM cans off, they weigh a ton. They are really, really heavy. And these are nothing like as heavy. They're physically smaller as well. Now they look better. The OEM chrome pipes, to my mind, the lines look better on the bike than these. But the sound's a different order of magnitude and the weight as well. Oh, and I put the chrome rear rack on here, and this bag, both from Hitchcock's. Right, lead on.
Right, so just heading over the tops from Ripponden over towards Hollingworth Lake area. Now, when I picked the bike up, obviously it had about 13 miles on it when I got it, and the first trip home was you'll see it when we go down the other side of this this gradient. It's quite a climb coming up, and it coped ever so well. I think they geared really well. The way that you can carve round bends on B roads, 50-60 mile an hour roads, the engine's just in a sweet spot and it's just pulling.
Oh well, they're not a light bike. For a mid-range bike aren't the Interceptors, but when you compare them with your 250 to 300 kilograms of big Taurus and big adventure bikes, then particularly when you're cornering, the reduction in weight is very noticeable. And of course there's a payoff there. It might only be a 650 engine compared to say a 1250 engine, but when your bike only weighs just over 200 kilograms wet, it makes a big difference. So in terms of general riding experience, I've not noticed a drop in performance. No.
I've noticed that, mate. Sorry, yeah, I've noticed that coming from, and this is a bombshell to those that follow me on the YouTube channel for my rantings and bits and bobs about the VFR. The VFR has gone, I'll be quite honest with you. I traded it in. It was becoming too cumbersome for me at home. My driveway's on a massive slant, manhandling it, etc. The cost of fueling it, it cost nothing with regard to parts, but it was getting to the point where it was approaching its 16k valve clearance service, and that had been big money. And I thought I'd try change direction, something lighter, and I'm more than happy with my choice.
Well, absolutely same here, mate. I mean, I've done the similar thing. I had a BMW R1250 RT, 2019 bike, 3 years old, LE spec, and I've just about now got three brand new bikes, each with 3-year warranties. Not quite a straight swap, but you know, not far off when you factor it all in. And the cost of insurance on a multi-bike policy for 3 Royal Enfield. I should point out I haven't got 3 Interceptors, but I've got this Interceptor, a Classic 350 and a Scram 411. Put them all on a multi-bike policy with Bennett's, and it's not much more than it costs just to ensure the R1250 RT.
That's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. albeit I did notice the insurance company I'm with, this cost a lot more to insure than the VFR. Now I've bitten it and swallowed it for this this coming year's insurance, but next year I'm going to be shopping round.
I think you should. I'm absolutely astonished that you've had to pay more for that than for VFR, because I paid £105 for this, but then
yeah, well, this cost me an extra £120 over the VFR.
Oh my good lord. Bloody hell, at least Dick Turpin wore a mask. Which insurer was that then?
I'm not going to name the insurance company, but
alright, good point.
It's a case of, I think it's costing me somewhere in the region of £300. So it's... yeah, so we've commented that the bikes are really well fuelled. We've both fitted the DNA air filter and retainer, which allows a substantial amount of airflow. Yeah. It is the brakes on the Mar Bybre, which is part of Brembo. And these next comments I'm going to say are just rumours that I've heard, but they might be wrong. That the engine was designed by a couple of Triumph engineers, and I've heard it said somewhere that the OEM cans on these are Van Hines, which, yeah, I'm a bit unsure about that, to be fair with it, because that's a really big name in exhaust. But it's just something I've heard, so it might be wrong, might be total bullshit, but I'm just putting it out there. They do sound good. They do sound good, and also whoever makes them, they are good pipes. Luckily they're only a small modification. We're going left here. I'm going to be filling up. Yeah, luckily the bike, whether you fit the air filter or the exhausts, the bike will retune itself. So we're now about 300-400 yards away from the meeting point for the Royal Enfield 1 ride out at Robinson's of Rochdale. Andy reckoned there might be about 12.5 bikes, so we'll just have to wait and see how many are turning up. Not many so far.